Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, and everyone non-binary. I am SomnolentMonk, but you can call me Monk. Today, I wanted to make another video on the Is Blank a Good series game. And I thought, why not go with the series that absolutely defined who I was growing up? Halo. And real quick before we get started once again, I want to thank you for the love on the Redfall and Ghostwire video. I'm honored so many of you took time to leave such wonderful comments. It truly means the world to me. I mean, I'm just starting out right now and still trying to see what sticks, so the support you have all given me has honestly been amazing. And whether this is your first video or you've stuck around for a little bit, I want to thank you all so much. The Halo series currently has 8 mainline games and 3 side games, and the one we're going to be talking about today is Halo 5 Guardians. A bit of a black sheep when it comes to the Halo series, Halo 5 Guardians was developed by 343 Industries and released in 2015 to actually mostly positive reviews. So why then am I making this video, you may ask? It should be rather cut and dry. The thing is, even though I've played all 7 other games, I haven't actually played Halo 5. But that's because when Halo 5 came out, they announced that they were going to be ending support for the split-screen co-op. And at the time, that was a big deal for me. So when they announced that, I never really wanted to play it. It wasn't going to be the same Halo that I once enjoyed. But since then, I've grown older, and I felt like I didn't give this game its fair share. So, without too much more preamble, let's ask and, hopefully, answer one simple question. Is Halo 5 Guardians a good Halo game? The story of Halo 5 actually consists of 2 interlocking ones, one for each of the Spartan teams you play as. Team Osiris, consisting of, I can't say I remember. Hey, I know him! And the blue team has, were you from Reach? Oh god, I should have read the books. And Master Chief. And I can't help but feel like blue team got the short end of the stick when it came to picking names. Seriously, you have Team Osiris, and then just Blue Team. But nevertheless, the story has you bouncing back and forth between the two, depending on which mission you're on. And you might get a string of 2 or 3 missions in a row as one team or another. Our story begins with Team Osiris discussing their mission, which as it stands is to retrieve Dr. Halsey, the creator of Cortana, and many others, from the hands, or mitts, of Jul Umdama, the supreme commander of a new faction of Covenant. And I realize if you don't know too much about Halo, those last sentences sounded like Mad Libs. Upon reaching Dr. Halsey, Team Osiris takes out both the surrounding elites and Jul Umdama himself. Meanwhile, Master Chief is lonely. And he doesn't want to be lonely anymore, because when he and the rest of Blue Team arrive at a research station called the Argent Moon, Master Chief receives a vision from Cortana, leading him to a planet called Meridian. But upon request, they are denied the chance to go. So they do what any reasonable soldier would do in this situation. Immediately disobey orders and go AWOL. Wait, no, that's the opposite. And because of that, now Team Osiris has a new mission. Apprehend the Master Chief. So without getting into spoilers too much for those like me who haven't played the game yet, the story continues on with Team Osiris chasing down Blue Team, and Blue Team chasing down Cortana. Gameplay in Halo 5 is vastly different to its previous games. For starters, the co-op system. If you have friends, Halo 5 allows for up to 4-player co-op. And that's good, because this is the first Halo game to have revives in it. If you go down, you can have a friend, or in my case AI, come over and pick you back up. And the AI was okay, but not great. There were so many times that they'd just be behind me in a firefight, and somehow, someway, an enemy is just hanging out between me and them. There's also drastic changes to the movement. In previous games, all the way up until Halo Reach, even the concept of sprinting was alien. Now with Halo 5, not only can you run like Tom Hanks, but you can also turn your running self into a half-ton human missile with a Spartan charge, capable of tearing apart enemies and weak walls alike. Other movement options include a dash to quickly move both in and out of combat, a hover to get the height advantage over certain enemies, and flinging yourself into battle with a devastating slam attack. You know, if I had a nickel for every time a lesser-liked entry of a sci-fi shooter game had a dash, a hover, and a slam, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice. But movement is not the only new addition. The Prometheans have gotten an upgrade since we've seen them last. Knights now have giant glowing video game weak spots that you had to break before killing them. And they've added a new enemy type, the Soldier. No, not that one. The Soldier. Seems like they basically wanted Knights to be more uncommon and more of a threat, so they made these guys to use in the smaller battles. The Covenant received a few changes as well. Grunts and Jackals are now able to melee you, which was incredibly surprising the first time it happened to me. And Hunters are now so much worse. And I mean that they're just kind of designed for the co-op. One person draws its attention and the rest hit it in its back. It's alright for what it's going for, but I do miss dancing with them like in the earlier games. Besides that, there's also a few new weapons and vehicles. In fact, I believe this is the first game to have, bar none, the best vehicle in the series. Scorpion? Nah, more like tank beats nothing. Mantis? Nah, I keep praying. The one true vehicle, nay, the one true God. To put all others to shame. The Gun Goose. A holy amalgamation of agility and fire. Okay, no, seriously though. They just took a mongoose and strapped guns to it. That's it. I thought the levels in Halo 5 were pretty good. Obviously they're not going to be as iconic as Silent Cartographer or the Ark, but they're not too bad. They have rather nice scenery, a good sense of leading the player in the right direction, and overall it just felt like a Halo game. But it's not exactly perfect. See, there are a few missions that have no enemies at all. These are mostly used for letting you know what the next steps are, but that brings up a good point. Why was taking down the Supreme Commander Jul 'Mdama a cutscene, and not missions like these? All you really do is talk to a person or interact with a console, and then you just get on a pelican and fly off. Did they really need a way to hide the intel collectibles that badly? Speaking of collectibles, Halo 5 has a decent amount in the forms of the aforementioned intel, as well as the longtime series staple that is the skulls. Intel are mostly scattered around the usual collectible spots, but the skulls are just a little bit trickier. The spots that they are in are completely out of the way, and one skull in particular is bothersome in a whole new way. The Thunderstorm skull is found on the mission Evacuation. As you're escaping the colony, you will find 5 traffic cones along the way. If you manage to shoot all 5 of them within 2 minutes, you get the Thunderstorm skull. Oh, but not anywhere nearby or anything like that. At the very end of the mission, just on the ground, looking like another piece of debris. Of course, those are all entirely optional. However, there are achievements tied to them. And on the topic of achievements, Halo 5 has 73 achievements, ranging from simply beating the levels to doing optional things along the way. And honestly, looking over the list, Halo 5 doesn't seem that hard to 100%. I mean, of course, I haven't done it yet, I've just been doing what I need to get this video out. But unlike the other Halo games, there's no lasso achievement or some vidmaster one asking you to do something impossible like have friends. And based on the percentages, there are some tricky ones, but nothing like the Master Chief Collection. Well, this is where I'd normally put the multiplayer footage, if I had any! I spent a good 10 minutes in queue trying to find a Warzone match and a quick play match, just to get a message saying, whoops, no one else is playing Halo 5, go play something else, stupid. And when I finally did get a game, the servers said no. And perhaps a whole lot of people weren't playing at the time, or maybe just because it's a 10-year-old game. But with all that, I'm unfortunately unable to review the multiplayer for Halo 5. Is what I thought. But I dared to step into a realm I'd never imagined I would. Ranked. which I then found a match, and it's just Halo. If you played any Halo multiplayer since Halo 3, it's pretty much the same. I did top score one match, which is kind of funny seeing all those level 100s and then just a level 2 at the top. Halo 5 was received well upon release, but some people still had issues with it, both the aforementioned co-op only campaign, and the fact that they really didn't care too much about introducing or fleshing out a lot of the new characters. Like, I could not tell you a single trait about Kelly. And the thing is, you probably couldn't either, because that's not even Kelly. That's Vale. This is Kelly. The point is, they were just kind of one-toned. A lot of people, myself included, were skeptical about it, and I guess the main issue I had when it first came out is that it was such a big change from what I was used to with Halo. But I know now that that's okay. Things change over time, and we shouldn't be afraid of that. I do feel bad about not giving Halo the chance it deserved, but it all led me to who I am today, so I guess I can't complain too much about that. Now it's about time to get down to brass tacks. Is Halo 5 a good game? Yes. It's an enjoyable experience with some solid gameplay. But is Halo 5 Guardians a good Halo game? Also, yes. Even with all the new characters and the new movement, Halo 5 Guardians never felt like a departure from what Halo is. It's been a lot of fun playing through, and honestly, I'm slightly sad I didn't get a chance to play this when it was at its peak, as it could have been really fun to play through the entire campaign with a group. Thank you all so much for watching. I honestly love the Halo series and wanted to make at least one video about it at some point. Which brings up a good question. What is your guys' favorite Halo game? Personally, mine is Halo Reach, but I'd love to hear more about yours in the comment section below. If you've enjoyed the video, please give it a like, and if you want to stick around and see what's next, please feel free to subscribe. I've been Monk, you have been wonderful, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye bye. I've been Monk, you've been wonderful, and I'll see you when I see you. I don't think I can use that. Why was there just a child screaming? Okay, I guess take 3.